instructions continually. Meditate on this on it day and night, so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do. And Your Excellency, sir, the first gift that you receive on your inauguration is this Bible that I have read to you.
Tumpongeze kwa makofi anapopokea Biblia kutoka kwa Bishop Mark Kariuki. May I now most humbly request Your Excellencies Richard Ruto, after that one photo. Excellencies Richard Ruto, Your Excellency the Deputy President, and Pastor Dorcas to retreat to the main dais. May I most humbly request that we retreat to the main dais. Alafu niombe mkuu wa majeshi aweze kumsindikiza Mheshimiwa Rais kwenye jukwaa kuu. His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Republic of Kenya now being escorted by the Chief of the Defense Forces to take his place in the inauguration arena. Waandishi wa habari tusonge kidogo.
Basi Mheshimiwa Rais na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu wa majeshi yote ya ulinzi anapochukua nafasi yake kwenye jukwaa maalum, niombe kwa heshima tuweze kusimama kwa wimbo wa taifa, na wakati wimbo wa taifa utakapokuwa unachezwa, bendera ya Mheshimiwa Rais anayeondoka mamlakani itaweza kushushwa huku. Nitaomba tubaki tukuwa tumesimama kwa ajili ya mizinga 21 kwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto. Tutulie kwa wimbo wa taifa tafadhali. Tutulie tafadhali, tutulie. Haya, asante sana. Tutulie tafadhali, tutulie tusiweze kumtatiza parade commander tafadhali. Tutulie wananchi. Thank you. Hivi sasa military police, RSM military police warrant officer 1 Chege akimkabidhi Luteni Kanali Mtugi bendera aliyokuwa anatumia Mheshimiwa Rais ili aweze kumpokeza mkuu wa majeshi ya ulinzi Jenerali Robert Kibochi aweze kumkabidhi Rais mstaafu Uhuru Kenyatta na kumshukuru baada ya kutumikia taifa kwa miaka 10 kama rais na amiri jeshi mkuu wa majeshi ya ulinzi. Tumpe makofi Mheshimiwa Rais anapopokea bendera hii. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais kwa kuweza tumikia taifa la Kenya kwa miaka 10 kama rais na amiri jeshi mkuu wa majeshi ya ulinzi. Basi tubaki tukiwa tumesimama, mkuu wa gwaride hii hivi sasa akija kumwomba kwa heshima Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya idhini ya kuweza kuondoa gwaride hili uwanjani baada ya kuandaa gwaride la kufana. Asanteni kwa heshima, tunaweza keti tafadhali. Basi wananchi tutulie, gwaride linapoondoka uwanjani.
Form 3 ranks. Guard of honor will march off in divisions. Move to the right in 3s. Right turn.
Kwa desturi za kijeshi, sharti bendera ya kikosi kuwa mbele ya gwaride unavyoshuhudia hivi sasa, toka kwake Kala Officer pamoja na parade RSM wakichukua nafasi yao.
To your duties. By the left. Quick march.
Basi Mheshimiwa Rais, na huo ndio utakuwa mwisho wa Naval Sergeant Major Warrant Officer 1 Bwana Haji Omar, bila kuwasahau wenzangu Koplo Jabiri Banzi.
Wapi makofi ya hao waimbaji tafadhali? Wapi nduru? Wapi shangwe? Sasa nataka kualika mwenzangu Mr. Wanjoy ili atuletee our Deputy President Jabayawira, kijana wa Maumau, Rigathi Gachagua. Wapi vigeregere?
Asante sana na kwaonyesha.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Commander-in-Chief of Kenya's Defense Forces, William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto, Your Excellencies, visiting heads of states and governments, Your Excellency, our retired President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Your Excellency, the former First Lady, Mama Margaret Kenyatta, Honorable Chief Justice, Speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate, all protocols observed. God is good, and all the time. Nisalimieni kwa hewa. Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe tena. Wow, wow, what a moment. What a day. Your Excellency, President William Ruto, my friend and brother, I want to take this opportunity to be the first one to congratulate you on being sworn in as the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. Congratulations, my brother. You fought a hard fight. The obstacles that have been placed before you on your path to leadership were insurmountable. But because there is a God in heaven, today, an ordinary child, born by ordinary parents, brought up in an ordinary village, brought up in an ordinary way, growing up in an ordinary manner, because there is God in heaven, he is the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces. I want to tell the people of Kenya, an ordinary child has been sworn in as President. I want to thank the people of Kenya for their resilience and for their determination, for rejecting to be intimidated, for rejecting to be coerced, and for saying that the will of the people is supreme in this republic. That you are a hard worker, you have passion to serve, you are zealous, you are a go-getter. The journey ahead of you is not rosy. And I want to ask the people of Kenya, the way you prayed for President William Ruto to be elected as president, please continue praying for him and his team to be able to start the economic transformation of this great republic. Our new president and his team have a difficult task ahead. The truth of the matter is that we have inherited a dilapidated economy that is facing almost an economic shutdown. We have a 10 trillion public debt. 6 million Kenyans have no employment. 14 million Kenyans are in CRB. We have a demoralized public service. It is your prayers that will help our president to put up a team and start work from day one to liberate this country economically and put it back to where President Mwai Kibaki left us 10 years ago. Your Excellency, the President, I want to tell the people of Kenya that today is a great day. Freedom is here with us. Freedom is here with us. I want to tell the people of Kenya that finally you are free. Kenya is now a democratic country. You don't have to look back when you do something. All Kenyans are free to associate with whoever they want. It became a crime in this country to be afraid of William Ruto. It is only that it was not put in the penal code. From today, I want to tell the people of Kenya that you are finally free. I want to tell public servants, I want to tell all the people of Kenya, from now, you don't have to talk with each other through the WhatsApp for fear of being recorded and persecuted by state agencies. Criminal justice system to manage politics. You have told us that you'll manage politics the conventional way through persuasion and reaching out. I want to give a word on behalf of our president that you are free to criticize his government without fear of reprisal from state agencies. Your Excellency, Mr. President, as I wind up, I want to assure you of my resolve and commitment from the bottom of my heart to be available to assist you to manage the affairs of our great nation. I'll serve you with loyalty and dedication. And the job ahead of us is not a joke. I and the team behind you, we shall be available and will try to keep up with your pace. I know I am getting in shoes that are almost impossible to fill. The performance of William Ruto in his first term, when he was allowed to serve the people of Kenya, was on another level. Please, I beg the people of Kenya, not to measure me with the performance of William Ruto, because you might get disappointed. I'll try. I may go up to 60 or 70%, but filling the shoes of this man is no small feat. And as we move forward, I want to ask the people of Kenya to work hard. We don't have a choice. Once we try to fix this economy and create a good working environment where we don't criminalize enterprise, where ordinary Kenyans are allowed to work, where businessmen are not harassed by KRA, where goods belonging to the people of Kenya will never again be touched by overzealous public servants. Where again poor people will never again be evicted in brutal evictions by state agencies. And I say, freedom is here. Let every Kenyan be prepared to work hard. Let us give our new president a chance. And I beg you to be patient with him. We have come to the treasury and the coffers are empty. We have to start from scratch. We ask for people of Kenya to be patient and give us a chance to try to get things working. Finally, as a Christian, I take this opportunity to thank my wife Dorcas, Pastor Dorcas, for being a prayer warrior, for praying for me in difficult times, for standing by me. I want to thank my children, Kevin Gashagwa and Dr. Keith, that even when state agencies came for me with the brutal efficiency, you never abandoned me. My family, I will ever cherish you for standing with us. And I must tell the people of Kenya, please take care of your families. Those are the only people you can rely on. Friends abandoned us. Business associates betrayed us. But family will always be there for you. The story of William Ruto is one of inspiration. Today, a man of great resolute, a true warrior of the Republic of Kenya, a man who is committed to public service, a man who believes that every hustle matters, a man who believes that every Kenyan must be given a chance, a man who has committed his life to the service of the people of Kenya. I want to invite the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, the one and only William Samoei Ruto.
Thank you very much, my brother Rigathi. Your Excellencies, heads of state and governments, representatives of heads of state and government, my brother, the former President, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and Mama Margaret Kenyatta, Madam Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, ministers present, Your Excellencies, governors and deputy governors, all leaders, and the dear people of the Republic of Kenya, good afternoon. Hamjambo. Hamjambo. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Assalamu alaikum. Hebu tusalimiane hewani nione hivyo. Asanteni sana. That standing here today is testimony that there is a God in heaven. And today, I want to thank God because a village boy has become the President of Kenya. I want to thank my wife and family for always praying for me and praying for my team. I want to thank the many friends who have been with me in this journey. Many have gone through difficult times because of their association with me. Friends, I want to say thank you very much. In our midst, we have friends of our nation. We have presidents from around our region. Allow me, with a lot of humility, to introduce the presidents that are in our midst, because they have taken time out of their busy schedules to come and celebrate this moment with us. Allow me to introduce the father of our region, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda. That is the old man always in a hat. Allow me to introduce His Excellency President Denis Sassou Nguesso, the President of... Allow me to introduce my elder brother, His Excellency Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda. Allow me to introduce His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit, the President of the Republic of South Sudan. Na karibu sana Mheshimiwa. Allow me to introduce His Excellency Filipe Nyusi, the President of the Republic of Mozambique. Allow me to introduce His Excellency Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. Allow me to introduce His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi, the President of DRC. Allow me to introduce His Excellency Azali Assoumani, the President of Comoros. Allow me to introduce my elder brother, His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, His Excellency Abiy Ahmed. Allow me to introduce President Omari Sissoko, the President of Guinea-Bissau. Allow me to introduce a man who knows this country very well, and a pastor, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, the President of Malawi. Allow me to introduce our neighbor and the chair of the East African Community, the President of Burundi, His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye. Allow me to introduce His Excellency Wavel Ramkalawan, the President of Seychelles. Tafadhali nawaomba vile vile nimkaribishe mama wetu, shangazi wa East Africa, Mama Samia Suluhu, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Tanzania. Karibu sana mama wetu. In our midst are many other leaders, including vice presidents, other prime ministers, and other leaders, senior government officials, and representatives moment with us. Before I make my very brief statement, with a lot of respect, I want to ask, on behalf of the other national leaders who are here, presidents from our neighboring countries, let me request Mzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to make just a few remarks. Karibu Mzee.
Your Excellency William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, Excellencies, heads of state and government who are here, His Excellency Vice President of Kenya, Mr. Gachagua, and all the other leaders na wananchi wa Kenya. Kwanza, hongera kwa Mheshimiwa William Ruto kushinda uchaguzi. Pili, namshukuru Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta in the neighboring countries. But whenever there are elections like in Tanzania or Kenya recently, I started watching your television channels. And there is one television, I was scanning through them, but I watched something called KTN News Chivumbi. That, and I'm glad with the statement of the Vice President who has been elected, because he was talking here about the real challenges of African countries and leadership. Now, in this Chivumbi, most of the time, they were talking about don't involve me in your internal affairs. Me, I just want to observe a few things. The first, they were talking mainly about sharing power and sharing resources. Then there was one young man with a lot of gray hair, a young man with a lot of gray hair. At one time he came and made a good point. And the point was the politics of identity versus the politics of interests, of issues. I said these young people are beginning to get somewhere. But then another one said, you are talking of distributing resources. Where will these resources come from? So all of the political class in Africa, I would appeal to you to answer that question. Where does prosperity come from? Ustawi wa jamii unatoka wapi? According to my experience of 60 years, I would advise Africans to know that prosperity comes from wealth creation. You must create wealth. And wealth is not the same as natural resources. You may have natural resources, but you don't get wealth out of them. The wealth means commercial agriculture, manufacturing, services, hotels, and ICT. Now, if I own a hotel, it is my wealth. But that hotel creates jobs for Kenyans or Ugandans. The linkage between wealth and jobs. Because when I watch these TVs, I get a bit concerned. You see, people are talking, and the neo-colonial social science is also very dangerous, because people don't link. So I have not read, of course, the manifesto of Kwanza, Kenya Kwanza, nor have I read the other one of Azimio. But I know His Excellency Ruto. I've met him a number of times in Uganda, and I know he likes ideas and frank talking. Now, what I found a problem in that KT News Chivumbi was in all the things they were talking about, they were not talking about East African integration. They talk about Kenya, 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 Kenya. But I can tell you, and then one of them, the other evening, one of them was quoting the example of American President Roosevelt. Roosevelt started a program in 1934 which created jobs and so on. But Roosevelt was utilizing the huge market of the United States, which had already been created by some people who had a vision. So therefore, I congratulate His Excellency Ruto. I thank His Excellency Uhuru. On behalf of the presidents who have come here, I did not come here to give a lecture about this or that, but I thought that in order for Uganda and Kenya and Tanzania and Congo and Burundi and Rwanda and South Sudan and Somalia, which is coming now, in order for us to catch up. Wish you good luck. Congratulations, Kenyans.
Asante sana mzee. With a lot of apology, I have been informed that in our midst we have other friends who I did not mention. Allow me to introduce my good brother, His Excellency Julius Naado Bio, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and you're most welcome to Kenya. Let me also introduce the President of Sahrawi Republic, His Excellency Brahim Gali. And in our midst as well, the Chairperson of Africa Union, my good brother Musa Faki. Let me now introduce, again to speak to us briefly, the President of Burundi, our neighbor, His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye. Karibu sana, Mheshimiwa Rais.
Members of diplomatic corps, wananchi wote wa Kenya, hamjambo? Hamjambo? Kenya oye! Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki oye! Waheshimiwa, nianze kwanza kwa kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu aliyetuwezesha kufika salama katika nchi nzuri na yenye amani ya Kenya. Nina furaha sana. Kenya kabisa, hakuna matata. Nichukue tena fursa hii niwapongeze Wakenya wote kwa kufuata mioyo yao wakati wa kupiga kura na kuthibitisha kwa mara nyingine ukomavu wao wa hali ya juu na kuonyesha ulimwengu viwango vya demokrasia yao. Kenya imeshinda na mafanikio yenu ni kiburi ya Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Mumeshinda shetani ya vita. Hongereni sana. Hongera sana ndugu yangu. Wakenya na Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki kwa ujumla wanatazamia kwa hamu uongozi wako ndugu yangu Ruto, ambao utachukua sio tu kuipeleka nchi yako mbele kwa kimaendeleo, bali pia kuimarisha ushirikiano wa kikanda. nikiwa rais wa Burundi na mwenyekiti wa mkutano mkuu wa marais wa nchi za Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, ninatarajia kufanya kazi na wewe ili kuimarisha maendeleo kwa kanda letu. Na upande wa Burundi, tunafurahia uhusiano mzuri ambao kwa bahati nzuri upo kati ya Kenya na Burundi miaka mingi, na ninaweza kukuhakikishia Mheshimiwa ya kwamba undugu kati ya Wakenya na Warundi utaendelea kusimama imara, na undugu ufurahia Mheshimiwa Uhuru utaendelea kwako ndugu Ruto. Ningependa tena kutoa pongezi kwa ndugu yangu Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta kwa uongozi wako. Furaha iliyokutambulisha imekuwa furaha ya Wakenya wote, na hapa unamaliza muda wako kwa furaha na utulivu, na kupongeza sana. Mungu aendelee kukubariki na hili libaki akilini mwako. Kanda letu litaendelea kutegemea ofisi zako nzuri kusaidia kurejesha amani mashariki wa DRC. Ningependa kuhitimisha hotuba yangu kwa kupongeza kwa mara nyingine tena Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto na kukutakia afya njema na mafanikio mema. Ninaomba kwamba Mwenyezi Mungu awape nguvu na uwezo na kuipeleka Kenya katika kiwango kipya kabisa. Mungu abariki sana Mheshimiwa Rais Ruto. Mungu abariki Kenya. Mungu abariki Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Asanteni sana.
Wa mwisho, na kabla sijamuita wa mwisho, let me recognize the presence of the Prime Minister of Eswatini. Tumpigie makofi. The heads of regional economic blocks, EAC, COMESA and IGAD,
Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Mama Ruto, Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, Naibu Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Mama Gachagua, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Rais mstaafu wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Mama Kenyatta, waheshimiwa wakuu wa nchi na serikali tuliokuja kuunga mkono shughuli hii leo, waheshimiwa mabalozi na wakuu wa taasisi za kimataifa, wageni walikwa, wananchi wa Kenya, mabibi na mabwana. Kenya we! Kwanza kabisa niungane na viongozi wa dini kumshukuru Mungu kwa kuweza kukamilisha shughuli hii adhimu na ya kihistoria ya kumwapisha rais mpya wa Jamhuri ya Kenya pamoja na naibu rais. Kwa niaba ya serikali na watu wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, tunawapongeza sana. Tunawapongeza sana ndugu yetu William Samoei Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, pamoja na ndugu yetu Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, Naibu Rais wa Kenya, kwa kupokea rasmi jukumu la kuiongoza Kenya leo. Katika hatua hiyo ya pongezi, tunamshukuru na kumpongeza sana Mheshimiwa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta kwa kumaliza vyema kuitumikia nchi yake na kuitumikia kwa mafanikio makubwa. Hongera sana. Ndugu zangu wa Kenya, tunawapongeza nyinyi kwa kuonesha ukomavu wa demokrasia na kumaliza uchaguzi salama, na leo tuko hapa pamoja kama Wakenya na wa East Africa tunashangilia uapisho wa rais wetu mpya. Nataka niwaambie ndugu zetu wa Kenya, kama kuna zawadi mlioitoa kwa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki mwaka huu, ni zawadi ya amani mlioiweka katika uchaguzi. Tunawashukuru sana 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 kwa zawadi hiyo muhimu. Ndugu zangu wa Kenya, uchaguzi umemalizika. Sasa ni kujenga taifa la Kenya. Na hapa niungane na walioimba hapa kwamba wananchi wote wa Kenya sasa mshikane mikono kuijenga Kenya. Mwisho, kama dada, nitumie fursa hii kuihakikishia Kenya dhamira yetu ya dhati ya kufanya kazi kwa kushirikiana kwa karibu zaidi katika kuleta maendeleo ya pamoja ya kijamii na kiuchumi baina ya nchi zetu, lakini na ukanda wote wa Afrika Mashariki. Namwomba Mwenyezi Mungu amwezeshe ndugu yetu Ruto pamoja na serikali atakayoiunda, awatie nguvu ili waweze kutumikia vyema nchi hii katika kiwango kinachotarajiwa na wananchi wa Kenya. Mwisho kabisa, nimwombe Mwenyezi Mungu aibariki Kenya, Mwenyezi Mungu aibariki Afrika Mashariki, na asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza. Asante sana.
Asanteni sana, and thank you very much for your comments and your words of encouragement. To the people of Kenya, this is a momentous occasion for our country. Our politics and our elections have never failed to be emotive, engaging, and dramatic. The most recent installment, however, showcased our most exemplary democratic performance by the people of Kenya. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission stewarded a transparent and credible election whose result faithfully reflects the democratic will of the people of Kenya. Dissatisfied parties exercised their right to petition before the Supreme Court, whose proceedings and determination not only gave comfort to the doubtful, but also restored faith in our electoral and judicial institutions. Many countries aspire to have moments like this, and we as Kenyans should not take ours for granted. This is the third election under the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the second peaceful transition. We have had a robust conversation about this moment and what it demands of us, and we have sought to answer the question whether this is a constitutional moment or an economic moment. In this process, we have demonstrated the maturity of our democracy, the robustness of our institutions, and the resilience of the Kenyan people. My competitors and I mobilized vigorously to offer the citizens of Kenya the most appealing agenda as well as the best roadmap to achieving it. I remain firm in the conviction that all sides in the last election did their best to present a pathway to actualize the people's aspirations. The just concluded election was a choice between competing ideas towards the Kenya we want. Elections and democracy entail unifying competition, not divisive rivalry. The performance of our security services, the performance of the IEBC and the judiciary was put to severe test. By and large, these institutions lived up to our expectations. We can only aspire to do better in future, and I give my undertaking that my administration shall work to ensure that the bar is raised even higher for the next general elections. A significant dividend of our electoral and democratic process is the tremendous achievement we made in breaking the glass ceiling by enhancing the participation of women in leadership. 7 women were elected as governors, up from 3 in the last election. 29 women were elected as members of the National Assembly, up from 23 in 2017. 7 women deputy governors and 3 women senators were elected as well. It is very clear that this election had many winners, far exceeding those who were actually elected. By far, the largest winners of this election is the people of Kenya. We have done well as a nation. We have blazed the trail in an increasingly challenging environment where democracy is consistently on trial. We have come a long way in our nation's journey to freedom, and going by our most recent performance in these elections, we conclude in confidence that we are almost home. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to single out the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission for special commendation for the courage to do the right thing under exceptionally challenging circumstances. As an institution, they have set a new standard in public service that is uncompromising, professional, and exemplary, while raising the bar of integrity of our public officials and public institutions. It is appropriate to single out for special mention the chair of the IEBC, Wafula Chebukati, for standing firm, resisting bribery, resisting intimidation, and resisting blackmail, and doing the right thing. It is also appropriate to celebrate our judiciary for sustaining its tradition of boldly giving much-needed guidance, especially in allaying post-election anxieties and resolving grievances in a sensitive, credible, and authoritative manner. Judiciary's articulation of the aspirations and standards enshrined in the Constitution has deepened our democracy and institutionalized our rule of law. Our judiciary is now, without a doubt, Kenya's biggest constitutional dividend. The judiciary has successfully arbitrated 3 election disputes and defended the nation against formidable onslaughts on our Constitution. Our judiciary has demonstrated transparency in its proceedings and decision-making, thereby consolidating its independence, authority, and legitimacy. I also take this opportunity to say a special word of appreciation to our security services for a commendable job at a critical moment in our nation. Their services and heroic sacrifices they have made beyond the call of duty has kept our nation safe. I am aware that our uniformed services effectively resisted concerted attempts to foment unrest and subvert the will of the people. My special commendation also goes to all our candidates who contested various positions. Their participation enhanced competition and enriched public debate that underpins democratic choice. Special recognition goes to my worthy competitor and friend, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and his running mate, the Honorable Martha Wangari Karua, and all the other candidates who mounted a vigorous and determined campaign. I assure them that their supporters will be my constituents. I will work with all Kenyans, irrespective of who they voted for. Our special gratitude also goes to millions of Kenyans in the Hustler movement for tirelessly Very good. Very good. Our special gratitude also goes to millions of Kenyans in the Hustler movement for tirelessly mobilizing for the campaign, mobilizers, and those who contributed whatever they could in whatever form to keep the movement going. I also appreciate our religious community and institutions for their support, their prayers, and encouragement. I commend the Church in particular, and in equal measure the Islamic religious leadership, for their considerable support to us and our campaign. We also appreciate them for continuously exploring avenues for interfaith understanding and solidarity, which have gone a long way to enhance tolerance and cohesion in Kenya. Faith-based institutions continue to play a noble and indispensable role in our communities, and I commit that we will enhance our partnership, build on our collaboration, and enhance our support to them. At this juncture, it is important for me to speak directly to the youth, and especially those who participated in one way or another in the election campaigns. I commend you for resisting pressure and enticement to be misused as agents of conflict and disruption during the electioneering period. I also congratulate those who went out to seek various roles within campaigns and elections, thus playing their part in keeping Kenya's democracy robust. Even if your candidate did not win, your participation in the activities of our political parties, campaigns, and elections is the beginning of political internship. My political journey similarly began as a young campaign volunteer fresh out of university in 1992. Your experience and lessons learned should form the basis for your leadership journey going into the future. We have all therefore emerged out of this contest stronger, more united, and alive to the issues that are common to all of us. We should remain conscious that we have all been elected to work together in ensuring dreams and ambitions live in the hearts of Kenyans who struggle daily against daunting odds, often with nothing except stubborn hope. Some succeed, others fail, while others also do not even get a decent chance. Before the nation and the world today, I stand with great humility and profound joy as a living testimony that with faith in God, willingness to work hard, and a commitment to a vision, dreams can become reality in the fullness of time. I promise to throw open every door of opportunity and to keep every door open until success stories become the norm rather than the exception, and urge all other leaders to do the same so that we can together expand opportunity and chance for many of our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, we should consolidate our success in the just concluded elections and enhance the capacity and performance of our governance institutions. The innovative deployment of technology to secure election results has been the Electoral Commission's pioneering breakthrough. Going forward, we will support the IEBC's institutional capacity so as to expand the deployment of technology to cover all elections, from those of MCA to those of the President. I also believe that there is tremendous opportunity for IEBC to support electoral processes in our political parties as part of the broader democratic development. To consolidate the place of the judiciary in our constitutional and democratic dispensation, my administration will respect judicial decisions while we cement the place of Kenya as a country anchored on democracy and the rule of law. Our campaign for financial independence of the judiciary has paid off with the implementation of the Judiciary Fund on July 1 this year. My administration will scale up the budgetary allocation to the judiciary by an additional 3 billion shillings annually for the next 5 years. These resources will support the bottom-up scaling of justice by increasing the number of small claims courts from the current 25 to 100. We will also work with the judiciary to build high courts in the remaining 7 counties and magistrates' courts in the remaining 123 sub-counties, and support their ongoing digitization program. These interventions will empower the judiciary to adjudicate and expeditiously conclude corruption cases, commercial disputes, and all other matters, thereby enhancing access to justice and efficiency in our judiciary. To further demonstrate my commitment to the independence of the judiciary, this afternoon I will appoint the 6 judges already nominated for appointment to the Court of Appeal, which was done 3 years ago by the Judicial Service Commission. And tomorrow, I shall preside over their swearing in so that they can get on with the business of serving the people of Kenya. As required by Article 245 of the Constitution, the Inspector General of Police is mandated to exercise independent command over the National Police Service. The service's operational autonomy, however, has been undermined by the continued financial dependence on the office of the President. This situation is going to change. As I address you, sorry. One moment. Good. There we are. As I address you, I have instructed that the instruments conferring financial autonomy to the National Police Service by transferring their budget from the Office of the President and designating the Inspector General as the accounting officer be placed on my desk for signature this afternoon. Financial independence of the police will give impetus to the fight against corruption and end the political weaponization of the criminal justice system, an undertaking I made to the people of Kenya. I understand the deep fissures and low morale in the public service, the intimidation that was visited on IEBC commissioners and staff during the election was also meted out on various other agencies and staff in public service. This is now in the past. I assure all public officers that my administration will respect their professional service, and no public servant, even chiefs and their assistants, will be required to run political errands for any political of the people of Kenya, and we have been working continuously on the measures to bring down the cost of living. Our people are confronted daily with increasingly unaffordable prices, especially food and transport. In our economic forums across the country, during the campaign, citizens consistently shared their anxiety, their pain, and their fury on this matter. It therefore calls on us for urgent and decisive resolution. The interventions in place have not borne any fruit. On fuel subsidy alone, the taxpayers have spent a whopping 144 billion, 60 billion in the last 4 months alone. If the subsidy continues to the end of the financial year, it will cost taxpayers 280 billion, equivalent to the entire national government development budget. Additionally, there was an attempt to subsidize unga in the run-up to the election, a program that cobbled up 7 billion in 1 month. In addition to being very costly, consumption subsidy interventions are prone to abuse. They distort markets and create uncertainty, including artificial shortages of the very products they seek to subsidize. The cost of living challenges are related in our respectful submission to production. Our strategy to bring down the cost of living is predicated on empowering production. Our priority intervention, therefore, is to make fertilizer, good quality seed, and other agricultural inputs affordable and available. For the short rains, we have already made arrangements to make 1.4 million bags of fertilizer available at Kenya shillings 3,500 for a 50-kilogram bag, down from the current 6,500. This fertilizer will be available from next week I appeal to county governments in eastern, central, and western regions, where we are expecting short rains, to work with us in making sure that this fertilizer is available to all farmers in that region so that we can begin the journey to increase our food production initiatives. Additionally, to cushion tea farmers, we have made arrangements with KTDA to immediately supply tea farmers and in the long term. We are alive to the challenges of drought that face 7 counties, which are now at alarm, or 13 that are at alert stage, respectively. We are determined to ensure that no county slips into emergency phase, and will coordinate with county governments, which are the first line of our response. And I want to ask my colleagues, governors from Kenya, and especially those regions, to work with us in this endeavor. We are mobilizing resources to reverse this situation. Our goal is not just to provide relief and recovery to restore the situation, but to invest and unblock the huge economic potential of rangelands that constitute 2/3 of our country. 100,000 of them do not find opportunities for productive work. Moreover, our young people in cities and towns face very hostile environments, many times treated as a nuisance and their hassles criminalized. Those who seek to set up formal businesses are faced with a bureaucratic monster that is multiple licenses. Our immediate agenda is to create a favorable business and enterprise environment, decriminalize livelihoods, and support people in the informal sector to organize themselves into stable, viable, and credit-worthy business entities. This is the essence of the bottom-up economic model, which creates a path for traders and entrepreneurs to build linkages, experience safety, and enjoy security as they go about their enterprises. We will work with county governments to create frameworks that provide secure trading places in our cities and in our towns. We have committed specifically in the city of Nairobi to work with the county government of Nairobi to build an additional 20 markets in the city of Nairobi alone, as we work with other counties to achieve their plans. Financial inclusion and access to credit are critical in addressing the fundamental factors of cost of living, job creation, and the people's well-being. We shall take measures to drive down the cost of credit. Our starting point is to shift the Credit Reference Bureau framework from its current practice of arbitrary, punitive, all-or-nothing blacklisting of borrowers, which denies borrowers credit. We will work with credit reference bureaus on a new system of credit score rating that provides borrowers with an opportunity to manage their credit worthiness. This will eliminate the culture of blacklisting. In our engagements, traders also complain about the onerous burden involved in cash transactions exceeding 1 million. Many have reverted to storing money under their mattresses at great risk, which is clearly not the intention of the anti-money laundering regulations. While we remain fully committed to mitigating this risk, we believe that there is scope to make compliance Very good. While we remain fully committed to mitigating this risk, we believe there is scope to make compliance less burdensome on genuine business transactions. I have been assured by the central bank that work is ongoing on how to ease this burden without compromising the security of our financial system. Shortly, I will be announcing to the country what we have agreed with the central bank so that Kenyans can go ahead and facilitate their transactions without unnecessary impediments. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall implement the Hustler Fund, dedicated to the capitalization of micro, small, and medium enterprises through chamas, SACCOs, and cooperatives to make credit available on affordable terms that do not require unnecessary collateral. To implement all these interventions, we shall establish a Ministry of Cooperatives and SME Development mandated to ensure that every small business has secure property rights, access to finance, and a supportive regulatory framework. Furthermore, supply standardized products for our housing program. We will leverage on our competitive advantage in the leather and textile industry to roll out our labor-intensive agro-processing industrialization program. This will start in Naivasha Industrial Park and Dongokundu Industrial Park. This afternoon, I will be issuing instructions for clearing of goods and other attendant operational issues to revert to the Port of Mombasa, as I made a commitment to Kenyans. This will restore thousands of jobs in the city in pending bills for goods and services supplied to government. Clearly, we are living beyond our means. This situation must be corrected. I am aware that many individuals, families, and their businesses have been driven to ruin and forced to shut down over government unpaid bills. We shall give priority to the expeditious resolution of our pending bills so that the government can meet its obligation and facilitate better economic performance. In the coming weeks, we shall advise government creditors on the mechanisms for the resolution of their outstanding payments. We are committed to ensuring that they are paid in the shortest time possible. Additionally, we urgently need to expand our tax base. Our job creation agenda and the capitalization of our SMEs will go a long way in broadening our tax bracket. We will make KRA more professional, efficient, responsive, and people-friendly. I urge taxpayers to respond by undertaking their patriotic duty and pay their taxes. In furtherance to this, oversight institutions such as the Auditor General and the Controller of Budget will be adequately funded to execute their mandates. On the matter of gender parity, I am committed to the two-thirds gender rule as enshrined in our Constitution. We will work with Parliament to fast-track various legislative proposals and establish a framework that will resolve this matter expeditiously, as I promised in our manifesto. The participation of women in our governance does not make us lesser, it makes us greater. And their role can no longer be nominal, it must be substantive. Ladies and gentlemen, our health agenda is premised on fundamental reform in the way health is financed and provided. We shall reform the National Insurance Fund to make it a social health insurance provider, improve procurement of medical supplies, deploy an integrated, state-of-the-art health information system, and most importantly, provide adequate human resources at all levels. Contributions to the National Hospital Insurance Fund will now be graduated and will depend on people's income. There is a robust conversation, ladies and gentlemen, in the country on education, and in particular, the implementation of CBC curriculum. Public participation is critical in this matter. I will establish an education reform task force in the presidency, which will be launched in the coming weeks. It will collect views from all players in line with the constitutional demand of public participation, and we are particularly alive to the anxieties of parents on the twin transition of the last 844 class and the first CBC class in January next year. I assure all that there will be a solution to the matter before then. We have elevated our diaspora to the 48th county. The complaint has always been that the diaspora does not receive adequate attention and attention they deserve. The focus has been on remittances, while the fundamental rights as citizens have been neglected. To correct this oversight, I pledge to elevate diaspora to a ministry level, strengthen diaspora services in all embassies, work with Parliament to set up a committee that will exclusively deal with diaspora issues, and set up a mechanism for public participation by Kenyans living in diaspora. Equally, I will work closely with the IEBC to expand and enhance diaspora participation in all our elections. Ladies and gentlemen, devolution and sharing of power and resources is not just a national value, but a principle of governance in our Constitution, but it also is the ground jewel of our constitutional dispensation and the proudest achievement of the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. Part of our country has experienced the positive impact of this invaluable institution, and Kenyans yearn for better performance of all our devolved units. One of the best ways of accelerating national development is through collaboration with county governments. As Deputy President, I witnessed firsthand the tremendous potential of intergovernmental synergy and look forward to scaling up our capacity to harness these bountiful possibilities. Because of this realization, I have no hesitation in accelerating the transfer of outstanding functions to counties together with the attendant resources. To promote budget efficiency and minimize disruptions and delays in devolved service delivery, my administration commits to take necessary measures to secure the timely disbursement of revenues allocated to county governments. The success of devolution depends on sound intergovernmental relations. There is a template which incorporates lessons from successes as well as failures in past engagements, and we stand a stronger chance of making devolution work better. Kenya will continue, ladies and gentlemen, to be a dedicated partner to peace, security, and prosperity of East Africa region. We look forward to deepening our integration. We welcome our newest member, the DRC, whose entry now extends our region from the Indian Ocean to the Atlantic. Kenya is fully committed to the implementation of the East African Community Treaty and its protocols of free movement of people, goods, and services. Equally important is our commitment to the full actualization of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya will continue playing its role in international diplomacy at the bilateral and multilateral levels, appreciating that we are host to major international agencies, including the United Nations. I commit on the peace initiatives in our country, in our region, including both in Ethiopia and in the Great Lakes region. I have asked my elder brother, President Uhuru Kenyatta, who has done commendable engagement with those regions, and he has graciously agreed to continue chairing those discussions on behalf of the people of Kenya. I have committed that the government of Kenya, and myself in particular, will support those initiatives that will be chaired by President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for graciously agreeing to support us and to help me in those interventions. Among the central concerns of my government, global heating levels below the 1.5 Celsius, help those in need, and end addiction to fossil fuels. Africa has the opportunity to lead the world. We have immense potential for renewable energy. Reducing costs of renewable energy technologies make this the most viable energy source. Kenya is on transition to clean energy that will support jobs, local economies, and sustainable industrialization. In Kenya, we will lead this endeavor by reaffirming our commitment to transition to 100% clean energy by 2030. We call on all our brothers and sisters in our continent to join us in this journey. As members of the international community, we shall support a successful climate summit in Africa in November by championing delivery of finance and technology needed for Africa to adapt to climate impacts, support those in need, and manage the transition. My administration is ready to work with global partners to fight pandemics and other health emergencies. We are also committed to promoting Kenya's vigilance and efficacy in responding to emerging public health challenges. We stand ready to play our role in the collective effort to keep the public safe. I call upon countries that have developed vaccines to make them available to us. Ladies and gentlemen, my government commits to create a business-friendly environment, eradicate barriers that hamper business development and growth, and make Kenya one of the most compelling and attractive business destinations. We are an open, democratic society founded on freedom and justice. We take pride in receiving visitors and offering them our legendary hospitality. Kenya is a land of immense natural beauty and unforgettable delights. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here on my day one as president. I make a commitment that in the days ahead, I will make pronouncements that are going to better define the trajectory of my administration. I promise to make every Kenyan proud and to ensure the economic well-being of all of us. Without exception, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being patient with us, and I want to commit that I will work hard for all the people of Kenya, irrespective of who or how they voted. I've also promised to work with all the leaders, young and old, present, retired, and coming, so that we can build one nation and harness every talent, every effort, all energies in driving our republic forward. I make my commitment to all those who have served in government that their place in our nation will be secured. To our friends in our region, in Kenya, you have a reliable partner, and we look forward to building on the success of the leaders who came ahead of us. God bless you. God bless Kenya. May the very good Lord bless all of us. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.